Good morning, YouTube. This is Maria from Mari's Way of Life. I am coming to you today, again, super sick. I might just have to take tomorrow off. I feel like my body is like shutting down, and I couldn't even do like my makeup today because like I just keep like tearing, and my makeup was all over the place anyway yesterday. So not that, any other day is different, but yesterday especially. One of the things I want to cover today is, I think it's Rivenus 98. Hopefully I said that right. I'm not sure. Asked me about the fact fluency that I do in my class and how basically run the system. So what I do is I'll link down below who I bought it from TPT. I forget their names, but I will link it below. It is a seed sequence that she attaches to this TPT file. And what it is, it looks something like this. And she has two different types. I might want to say even three. The one I liked is this one. Okay, so this is what I call the game card for them. Their goal is to begin obviously on start. And every time they pass facts, I give them a watermelon seed, like so. And then they come up here and they glue it themselves. Again, I'm going to be honest with you. And I mentioned this in my previous blog sometime this week, where I did all the pre-work during the summer. And by I mean I had other helpers as well. So that included like my parents, my husband, former fourth graders, fifth graders now, sorry, former fourth graders. So they all helped me cut all of these things out, and kind of knew, obviously, the most important thing, guys, I mean, we have to remember at the end of the day, whatever strategies we use, kids need to know how to add, subtract, and read. Those are your three main goals. More than anything, we had to know that they need to be fluent in mathematics and fluent readers. So what I did during the summer is people helped me cut these out. And so each little snack bag is labeled, sorry, each little snack bag is labeled with the seed. So as you can see, I only have one left in here, +0, and I think that's just an extra one. This one is +3s, and then the seeds are cut in there. I copied them on cardstock, and then my family helped me cut them out, all like 25 seeds, 26 seeds. We put it in there. So what I do is this system that I bought on TPT also has a spreadsheet where you can actually keep track of it as well. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I forget to put them in there. So the work that I have to do is, yes, I have to have copies. So the copies are pre-made, and it takes some training at the beginning where they know they have to come up here, and all of my little boxes are labeled like add 0, add 1, so on and so forth. So all of them are labeled, and that is how the students come and get it. So if a student has seed 0 and seed 2 at 2, then they know when it's time to do the fluency test. They come and get their sheet. This is what it looks like. This is +2s. And then they go back to their seat and they wait for me to say begin. I time them for 5 minutes. Now, that's a lot of time. For students that fluently know how to do this, obviously fluency, it's a lot of time. But I also want to make sure the students that are practicing that new sheet are successful. I do keep an eye and like kind of see how most of them, like if they're really fluent, they will be done with this sheet within the first 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So I collect them right away, I grade them, and then I told them if they pass or didn't. And if they passed, I have a drawer, I'll show you. It's labeled fact, success, and all I do is I come in here, grab one, put their name on it, and tell them congratulations, you are on your way to math fact success. Keep up the great work. Current practice level is, and I tell them what their next level is. So that's what I do. When I forget to put it on my actual spreadsheet, usually it's here and it's not an issue. I have it on my file drawer, but it has the student's info, so I'm not going to show it to you guys. When I forget or when I'm rushing and I just want to pass them back out, I actually keep track by just looking at my wall over there. And so, say hi, Camila. My daughter's right there doing some homework. So that way I know. I mean, I run the risk of students may have or drop one or not glued it on, and they'll let me know. They're pretty good about it. They're like, Mrs. Hernandez, you know, one of my seeds fell or whatever. I haven't had that happen except for one time only. So that is not a concern of mine. I do like to have them display because it is a visual for them of their progress. And not only that, yes, it is competitive. It is a very controversial topic in terms of like competition in your classroom or being able to show work or not. You know, fact fluency and the reading fluency is very, very important. And I know competition can get a little aggressive or maybe hurtful at times, but that's why you're building a classroom community and you teach them how important it is for them. Yes, competition is a real thing in the world, guys. We compete for jobs every single day. So that is something they need to learn how to cope with. And if they want that, they must work for it. If you really want that, and I'm a first generation graduate, guys. It was tough, and I'm not like crying about it or trying to say, oh, I am like all that because I did it, but it was very tough. And I knew that I wanted better for myself. So I had to compete with a lot of people, to get to where I'm at this point. Am I happy? Yes. We all have what we work for. And I think whatever you choose and whatever's in your heart, wherever you are, there is still competition, and it's okay for students to know that it's okay for them to know how to fail as well. It is okay because it's gonna happen, and that way we're not living in Wonderland, and then it will be a shocker. And my new word, it's my word, I'm gonna put it in my dictionary. They're shook it. They're just they're shaken by the fact that they don't know what to do with themselves. So I want to make sure that I clarify why I do this, but that works really well. There are a couple of steps. Of course, you know, it was printing those out. It was making sure I make copies of all of the seed papers and cut them all out and make sure I had that pre-work done. And now it is very easy. They take the test. If I have time at that point in time, I grade it immediately. It's not hard to grade, so I go ahead and do it right away. It takes me approximately 5 to 7 minutes to go through them. Now, if they didn't finish that whole sheet, then I just put it to the side. I don't even grade it, and I put a little note like practice at home or whatever, and I have little stamps like check your work. And that way I don't grade through all the whole thing because I know they have to make sure all of the facts are correct. Or as soon as I get to the first wrong answer, then I circle it and I stop grading then. So it shouldn't be, I mean, it would be great if I was detailed and I answered all of them and corrected all of them. But the truth is we are going for fact fluency. And if they got one wrong, then that's where I stop. And if they didn't complete the sheet, I'm going to be honest, I don't even look at it. I just put it aside and say practice at home. Or I put something like this, please memorize. So that's just something that's gonna have to come with time. So it's really fast. I mean, top 7 minutes when I'm talking to a child, but 5 minutes it takes me to grade them, hand it back to them. And then if they pass, I quickly give them the seed so that they put it up there. And then I give them the little certificate, the congratulations, so that they will be working on the next fact. That's how I do it. I love how it works. There is a lot of prep time. I don't remember how much just because it was a while back. I did it last summer. So I just didn't want to think about it. In order for systems to work, there is a lot of prep time that needs to go into it, but it's so worth it. So if you're looking for something, I really recommend this. In the beginning, I didn't start in August because they weren't mature enough to handle all of this. And then we had to build all that community that I'm talking about. And I didn't want to put them up and for them to feel like they weren't being successful. So in order for them to be successful, I waited a little longer. Their maturity, their community with me, the relationships that we built, now we are able to do it, and it goes pretty fast. It took them some time to kind of find the sheets in the beginning, but now like the whole thing is no more than 10 minutes between the time I grade it, the time they get it, and the timer. Seriously, it's like, I would say like 10 to 12 minutes, no more than that. So do it. It's worth it. The kids need this practice. Anyway, that's what I do. I like it. I enjoy it. Hope that this helped. And if you have further questions, please go ahead and comment below on the Fluency system that I use, or maybe you have something better. Please share with me. And by better, I mean like an easier way of doing this where students are motivated and challenged, and yes, get competitive as well. I'm okay with that. All right, check in with you later. Okay, my students are outside doing a 100-mile, which is a program that we have here on campus that helps the kids stay healthy, and they have to run 100 miles during the school year. And so I asked my team teacher if she would go out with my class today, because I'm not feeling up for it, and I seriously think I just need to rest. I need to go home and rest and take care of me. But in saying that, because she's out there with them and I have like a good 20 minutes right now, I'm gonna go ahead and grade their assessments that I told you in the morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, because I was not feeling energized to like multitask when after they took it. I just didn't feel like doing the whole thing, and it will happen. So if you have all that energy, and you know, our off days, I was having an off day today because of my health, so I didn't want to do it. So right now I'm gonna do it. It's gonna take me like 5 minutes just going through them, and like I said, if they are full like this, then I grade them. And then let's say I get up to the third one and it's not correct, then I stop. I circle it and I stop, and then I go ahead and stamp it with please memorize or check your work. So it depends if they almost have it all memorized, like I wouldn't do this one. But if like they only filled out like 3, and then I would say please memorize. That's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this so that the students are able to know if they got a C today or not, because that's very exciting for them. So I'm gonna keep moving forward and on with this grading. I literally timed myself, and that was like 6 minutes. And now, mind you, I didn't have to check all of them, and I've already attached their little certificate to each of the ones that have passed. So these passed, they all get them at the same time. They know what they need to practice. So if they missed a couple, I say check your work. If they like finish halfway through or 3/4, whatever, but there's some blank spaces, then I put memorize. So that's what I do, and then I staple it real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and hand them to them, and as I'm handing them to them, I'll give them their seed, and that's what it takes. Now, while they're doing this, I forgot to say this in the morning, I always have like social studies sung up. I'm about singing in the classroom. So they have memorized their 7 continents through music, their oceans, the habitats of the animals. They have memorized Star Spangled Banner that way. A lot of patriotic songs they have memorized just like that. So while you're doing this, have the whole class do that. I mean, 10 minutes of music is not going to affect them. 10, 15 minutes, it's good for them. And then you get to do this, and they get immediate feedback so that they can get a challenge for their next level of facts. So I hope this helps. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my video now. Kids are gonna come back like in 10 minutes or so, and I wanna make sure these are ready at their table for them, as well as their seats. Since they're not here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them on their table so they come back and they'll be all excited. Sometimes they even ask to do it a second time on the same day. And so depending on what we're doing, sometimes I go for it. I hope this helps. Students are coming in a bit, so I am going to go ahead and get ready for them. When they come back, they will be doing this right here. I like to do one a day if I can, as a writing problem of the day, and this is what they do. I absolutely love this. If you are interested, please let me know and I will give you the link. I am going to go ahead and go put them on their desk. I'll check in with you tomorrow. Hope you like this vlog. Check in with you later.